All right, today we are diving into one of the most transformative technologies out there, artificial intelligence. But we're not just going to talk about what it is. Nope. We're going to explore how you can actually partner with it and turn AI into your ultimate creative and intellectual co-pilot. So when you think of AI, what comes to mind? Is it just a tool, something you pick up and put down? Or is it a threat to our jobs, our creativity? Maybe it's something else entirely. The answer might surprise you. Because really, the most powerful way to think about AI is as a teammate. And that brings us to this key idea: augmented intelligence. See, this isn't about creating machines that think for us, it's all about building tools that amplify our own natural abilities. The best analogy? It's like a pair of glasses for your brain. Glasses don't see for you, right? They just sharpen your own vision. Well, AI can do the exact same thing for your thinking. Here's a really powerful way to frame this. In the epic Mahabharata, Arjuna was the greatest archer of his time. But he had these divine weapons, the astras. Now, these weapons didn't aim themselves. They responded to his skill, and they made him superhuman. You are Arjuna. You bring the skill, the creativity, the context. The AI, that's your astra. It's the divine weapon providing superhuman speed and memory. It's a partnership. Okay, so if you want to be a good pilot, you've got to understand your machine. So let's take a quick peek under the hood and see how your AI copilot actually thinks and learns. And don't worry, it's not magic, it's just math. So at the very heart of modern AI is something called an artificial neural network. It's a system that's actually inspired by our own brains, using layers of digital neurons to process information. And what's so cool about this structure is how it lets the AI learn in a way that's surprisingly, well, intuitive. So how does this whole layered learning thing actually work? Well, imagine showing an AI a picture of a cat. The very first layer, it doesn't see a cat. It just sees simple little things like edges and colors. Then the next layer combines those into basic shapes, like circles and lines. Deeper layers start to assemble those shapes into familiar patterns like eyes or a nose or pointy ears. And then finally, the last layer puts it all together and says, yep, that's a cat. It learns from the simple to the complex, pretty much just like we do. So how does it get so good at this? Practice. But on a scale that is just massive. AI models learn by analyzing millions, sometimes billions of examples from their training data. By seeing millions of images that are labeled cat, the network just keeps adjusting its connections until it has learned the mathematical essence of catness. All right, now that we have a basic idea of how AI learns, let's look at its two biggest superpowers: creating art and creating understanding. Now, they might seem totally different, but believe it or not, they're all about one thing: finding order in chaos. Check out this fascinating parallel. When AI creates art, it often starts with the pure chaos of random digital noise, like static on a TV. When it creates understanding, it starts with a different kind of chaos, just a mountain of information. In both cases, your input, a prompt or a question, acts as the guide, helping the AI navigate all that chaos to deliver one single, coherent result. Let's look closer at the art side, because this is where it gets kind of wild. These things called diffusion models, which power most of the AI image generators, literally start with a screen full of static, pure randomness. Then you give it a prompt, and the AI begins this step-by-step process of denoising, pushing those random patterns to look more and more like what you described, until a complete image just emerges. It's just like a sculptor finding a statue inside a block of marble. Now, let's flip to the knowledge side. This is a system called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. Instead of searching the whole crazy internet, it starts with your trusted documents, your own knowledge base. When you ask a question, it first goes and finds only the most relevant bits from those documents. Then, and this is the important part, it generates an answer based only on that information. And here's the so what. This is the key to solving the problem of AI making stuff up or hallucinating. It keeps the answers grounded in facts you've already provided. Okay, so we know how the machine works. Now for the most important part: your role. Because none of this technology works without you. You are the pilot, and it is up to you to steer it. We can break this partnership down really nicely. The AI is an absolute genius at the lower order stuff, remembering facts, recalling information, summarizing text. Think of this as a huge cognitive offload. It frees up your brain power to focus on what we humans do best, higher order thinking, evaluating what's true, analyzing connections, solving brand new problems, and creating truly original ideas. So how do you actually steer it? Well, the key skill you need to master is called prompt engineering. This is the art and science of giving your AI clear, effective instructions. A good prompt is the difference between getting a bland, generic result and an absolute masterpiece. A really great creative prompt has layers. You don't just say a fisherman. You add a style, a composition, you specify the lighting, and you add those crucial details. Each one of those elements is an instruction that guides the AI from some vague idea to a specific, powerful image. And the exact same thing applies to learning. A great learning prompt is basically an exercise in thinking about your own understanding. Asking it to simplify a concept or compare two ideas or even, get this, ask you questions forces you to pinpoint the specific gaps in your own knowledge. It turns the AI into a personal tutor that adapts to exactly what you need. Of course, with this incredible power comes responsibility. You are all pioneers in this new world, and that means you have to help establish the rules of the road. So let's cover the essentials for using this technology thoughtfully. Now, we've got to be real. Like any powerful tool, there are pitfalls. Because an AI learns from vast amounts of human-generated data, it can sometimes reflect our own biases. The tech can also be used to create deepfakes, which are hyper-realistic fakes. And of course, just copying and pasting what an AI gives you isn't learning or creating. It's just a shortcut. So, what do? We follow some golden rules. First one is simple. Be transparent. Just be honest about your use of AI. It's a tool, and acknowledging your tools is just a sign of professional integrity. Second, respect artists. Now, it's one thing to use historical styles for inspiration, but using an AI to directly mimic the unique style of a living artist, that's a huge ethical gray area, and it devalues their hard-earned skill. Use AI to find your own voice, not to copy someone else's. And the most important rule of all, think critically. You have to be the final editor-in-chief, always. Check the AI's output for accuracy, for relevance, for purpose. You are the pilot, and you always have the final say. The choices you make, the art you create, the standards you uphold, all of that is going to help define the future of this incredible technology. So the question isn't just what AI can do. The real question is, what will you do with it? This new world is being built right now as we speak. What are you going to add to the map?